How did it go? Did you run into any trouble?
Sean, you have no idea. Let me tell you about it. When you called me in, it was the beginning of one of the worst times of my life. Like, no cream in my coffee, no filling in my pie, no shine on my shoes.
Max, thanks for coming in. I need you to do me a favor. My sister is in a bit of trouble. She's the secretary of the student government, and she's had her notepad stolen containing all of the minutes from the council meetings. I need you to get to the bottom of this.
Got it, boss. I'll get right on it. Word on the street is that your notebook was stolen.
Yeah, it was stolen.
What was stolen?
My notepad.
Right. Where did you last see it?
I remember last having it in English class on Tuesday. By the time the bell rang for the end of class, it was gone.
Are you sure you just didn't misplace it?
Misplaced what?
Your notepad.
I'm telling you, it was stolen.
What was stolen? Your notepad. Okay, and who do you think did it?
I was hoping you could find that out for me.
I had little to no information on the case. This was going to be a tough one. I decided to go to her English class to see if I might find a clue as to how the notebook disappeared. I was looking for anything around the secretary's desk that might indicate how the theft took place. Having found nothing but an old gum wrapper, I was preparing to storm out of there like a kid in a candy store without the money for a baby Ruth. But something caught my eye. It was a crumpled piece of paper that looked suspiciously similar to Susie's description of her notebook paper. I found this in the classroom. It has her name on it. Do you know anything about it?
This is a list of all the student council members. It was a page in my notepad.
How do you know it was from your notepad?
The previous secretary wrote it in after the elections. It was her last entry before she handed it off to me. I was so excited to get it. The notepad, not the piece of paper.
Now we were getting somewhere. Over the next couple of days, some very interesting things happened to the other names on that list. It started with money being taken from the cafeteria.
I lock up all the lunch money in the money box, and then lock the box at my desk after I serve lunch every day. When I went to retrieve the box from my desk this morning, it wasn't there. Can I go now? I need to stir the beans for today's lunch before they burn.
She should have let the beans burn. Might have improved the flavor. Her food was as tasty as boiled shoe leather on a hot summer day. Later that afternoon, the missing money box was found in the possession of the treasurer of the student body, Francis the Schnozzle Dingleblatt. He was immediately carted off to the principal's office and promptly suspended. The next thing that happened was a little mix-up with the star basketball player being found in the girls' locker room. He was immediately carted off to the principal's office and promptly suspended.
This is completely unlike him. I found him running out of the girls' locker room, getting his shoes, he said. He was pretty red-faced over the whole ordeal. Once he realized where he was, he ran out of there like a butted bullet. Hey, you! Get off that rope!
Bobby Johnson was the third person on the list to get in trouble, along with the Schnozzle, treasurer, and Susie Frampton, secretary. I was beginning to see a pattern here. Before I could act on my hunch, the next person on the list, Vice President Tremble, was busted for monkey business as well. There was an incident involving a bucket of paint and a brush. Principal Spade was not happy with the words painted on his door. She was suspended just like the rest.
Max, I know that none of them did this. They must have been framed.
But by who?
Don't you mean whom?
Don't get smart with me, you mug. We need to use our noodles before you become the next patsy.
I don't want to be no patsy.
Then who's making the student council take a bunk?
A what?
You know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Of course you do.
No, I don't.
Who's making them disappear?
It says here in the student government bylaws that if a council member has been suspended, then they will be replaced at the discretion of the sergeant at arms.
The list says that the sergeant at arms is Dirk Gavel.
I know him really well. He's a really nice guy.
I sent Susie off to check on some information for me while I stayed in the library and reviewed my notes. Then, he walked in. He had a mug anyone could love, eyes that could pierce right through you. Definitely a looker, a tall drink of water. Our eyes locked. He came straight towards me, and my heart skipped a beat. He was Dirk Gavel, sergeant at arms and responsible for keeping order in council meetings. I wonder what he wanted. I hoped it was me.
I've been looking for you. Tired of doing this on my own. I need your help.
You've been looking for me. Well, I've been here all along. Where you been?
I've been looking for you.
Well, you found me.
Yes, I have. I've been trying to find out what's been happening to the council members. I hear you've been trying to find out the same thing. Why don't we combine our efforts and see what we can come up with together?
I thought he'd never ask. Well, what do you know?
I know lots of things.
Well, what do you know about this?
I know who did it,
Who did what?
who framed the council members.
I don't know who framed the council members. How do you know they've been framed? So who is it?
The secretary.
The secretary? You mean Susie?
Yeah, I mean Susie. Don't you think it's a bit funny that she's the only one that hasn't been suspended yet? And where is that notebook? She clings to that thing like it's her favorite teddy bear, but then it just up and disappears? It just don't make sense.
I didn't let on that I was working with Susie, but something here just didn't wash. Yeah, it don't make sense.
Susie's been palling around with the Huckleberry Kid. He hates the president.
I decided to look into it. Everybody knew about the Huckleberry Kid and his hatred for the president. The rivalry went all the way back to elementary school. I tracked down the Huckleberry Kid. Hey, Huckleberry.
Max?
So I'm gonna get right to it. You hate the president, don't ya?
Yeah, I hate the Prez. You stole half my marbles when we were kids. I lost the other half last year. What of it?
Well, someone says it was you and Susie that framed all the council members.
Now, why would I want to go and do something like that?
Oh, I don't know. Revenge? Why else would you and Susie be spending so much time together?
Okay, I'll admit it. I like Susie. I want to ask her to the dance.
Ah, sure you do. It was looking more and more suspicious. Bad news for Susie.
Everything's coming together as planned, boss.
Good. How about the nosy reporter?
She took one look at this handsome mug, and I had it wrapped around my little finger. Both of them. I got her thinking Susie's the one.
Clever. That should keep her busy for a while. I want you to send so-and-so in to teach her a lesson, just to be sure.
You got it, boss?
Miss Mason, I hear you've been spending a lot of time investigating this mess with the student council.
Yes, Digger. Mr. Spade. I have.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I need to point out to you that you've been missing a lot of class.
I'm sorry, Digger. Sir.
What did you say? Oh, come in.
You asked to see me, Digger? Mr. Spade?
What did you say?
Nothing.
Were you aware that Miss Mason has not been attending class because you asked her to investigate this story?
Yes, Digger. Mr. Spade.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Forget about this story. You're going to class.
Can I at least have my notepad back?
No. Go to class.
Yes, Digger, sir.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Both of you get out of here. Those kids say Digger one more time. I swear, heads are gonna roll.
Sir, we're still here.
Get to class.
As luck would have it, my next class was journalism, so I could hash things out with you, Sean. Take that, Digger.
What's going on?
I told you all that I knew so far. How I believed all the council members innocent of the things they had been accused of. How the sergeant-at-arms is the one given the responsibility of replacing the suspended council members. And how he asked for my help and accused Susie of framing them all.
So you really think that my sister is the mastermind behind all this?
Maybe.
Smells a little fishy to me.
I've got a tuna sandwich in my book bag.
That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, something just doesn't sound right.
You need a cotton swab?
Doggone it! There's something going on here, and it's just not right. I want you to follow Dirk Gavel and see what you can find out.
Got it, boss. I'll get right on it. Don't know what this had to do with dogs, but I'd follow him. I would have followed him anywhere. Shows what a chump I was. As I left the room, Susie found me.
Hey Max, I got something for you.
What is this?
It's a poster from the last election.
What about
Here's the poster of his opponent.
it? They say the same thing. Why did you bring me these?
Michael won by a complete landslide. Victoria only had one recorded vote. She used to be a friend of mine. After she lost her election and the rest of us won, she stopped talking to me. She changed somehow. I was looking through my scrapbook and old photos of the two of us and found these campaign posters. I just thought it might mean something.
It just might mean something. Good job, Susie. Now we were getting somewhere. I headed out to find Dirk Gavel. I was pretty sure he had something to do with this.
Max, I gotta talk to you.
What is it, Huck?
I was just in the library. I just overheard Dirk Gavel and Victoria Bumble.
Get him! I got him! Get him harder! Harder! What are you, cheerleader?
I didn't get to hear the rest of what Huck had to say before the lights went out. I had no idea who it was that sucker punched me, but all I did know was that they were really short. Huck seemed to get the worst of it, though. He had to stay home for a few days to heal. Unfortunately, he was gonna have to miss the dance. The jig is up, Buster. I know you did it, Dirk. It's time to pay the piper.
I didn't do nothing. And I haven't heard a pipe in years.
You were trying to frame the president. I caught you red-handed.
Okay, you got me. I did it. I did all of it. But Victoria made me do it.
Don't spill the beans.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Not you. Him. You can spill all the beans you want. Dirk, shut your yap or you're gonna send us up the river.
Sorry, boss. We're busted. The boss here planned everything. Trying to beat you and the Huckleberry Kid. Trying to rig the elections with candy.
Dummy, you're gonna send us to the Hooskow, the big house, the slammer. I'm not gonna ever give you any more candy ever again.
Sorry, boss. End of the line.
Dirk, you broke my heart. But I'm glad you finally came clean.
Wow. That was confusing. Well, wrap it up.
You got it, boss.